Okay, so next we're going to look at the expansions. Well, the Kami Unbound and Monster pack. So let's look at monsters first.
That's what you get in it.
4 monsters with cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. We should have turned the light while doing the first one probably, but as typical in UK, sun just suddenly disappears and yeah.
Some cards.
Yeah, well, for monsters. The bases depending which clan they're working for. Plastic? I mean sellotape? No? Yeah. Right. So that's Oni of Plagues. Let's put them all here. Another dragon. Joraguma. That's one of the reasons why I got this Kickstarter. And really creepy tree. So there they all are. The monsters are amazing and they're so huge. This one's fairly small. Really creepy. Because, you know, I do Malafo miniatures. And the Jiraguma there, they decided to just have like a weird spider creature thing. Jiraguma's supposed to be a woman. So, in a kimono. So, they're also really creepy, but in a different way. Oh, she's got a sword there, which is nice. Not just umbrella and fan, but some weapons. The skulls underneath it. Yeah, fire dragon. You know, it's weird. All of the dragons in here, well, except for Earth one, have these kind of balls. They all sort of climbing over balls.
Dragon balls.
Different franchise. So here we got Kami Unbound. That's the deities of the Taoist pantheon. 7 of them, and gods. In the original game, you obviously have deities, but you don't have the miniatures. It's just the Shugenchi just pray to the deities in the temple. And in this one, you can actually place deities on the map. So it's like one of the expansions. I wonder if they're going to do any more expansions to these later on.
Might do.
Probably as a Kickstarter. Alright. Leaflet with the rules. Yeah. Basically how to use them in a game. Cards. And miniatures. These are on top. So these are the actual pictures of each deity, but they'll be in the art book later, which we're also going to have a look. And
Raijin,
Fujin,
Hachiman,
Amaterasu, Tsukuyumi, Susano, and Raijin. Ryujin and Raijin is different ones. That's rule cards, you know. Again, or more like season cards, because yeah, they come up in season. Okay. Right, let's put them all out. This one's slightly warped as well. This is it's that rubbery stuff, or it's more like resin. This
Yeah. I was going to say that.
resiny. They are bigger than human characters. So that's the Taoist pantheon. There'll be 7 lucky gods as well in the expansion, but they Zen Buddhism, so that's sort of later. Taoism is a much older religion. At least in Japan, because I could be completely wrong, you know, my knowledge of history is... Yeah, so again, 7 more really detailed miniatures. Thinking like early metals were actually, well, some metals miniatures are nowadays are actually worse than these. So even though this is a PVC, this is something. It's like for sharp objects like swords, it's kind of, they're a bit flimsy and sometimes, yeah. Hard plastic would be probably better for these sharp things, but metal, I don't know if they could get like such a thin blade in metal. So it would have to be like either resin or plastic. But this is some sort of resin compound anyway. These are cool. Right. I think it is warped. It's slightly warped. But again, this can be bent without too much problem. Although it's a very thick part, which is kind of... You know what would be easier to do? Just make like a scenic base where he's just leaning forward slightly, and that would have been alright. Because it's just a cloth which is sort of underneath him. So yeah, that would be easier to do this.
Cut off.
This is the Rising Sun Dynasty Invasion expansion. Something you had to pay for separately, it wasn't part of the main. And let's look at this first. This is the little extras for Kickstarter version of Sun and the Moon and the plastic strongholds.
Sun and Moon strongholds.
Yeah, there's 2 more of these, there's like 4.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was necessary to get it during the Kickstarter, otherwise I wouldn't have these plastic pieces, and it would have been weird if I had like plastic pieces for everything and then just use cardboard for these.
Put that back in there.
Okay, later, it's alright I think. Yeah, so this is what you get in a box. Noise. Yeah, and you know, these tokens for yeah.
You've already got the plastic ones. Places.
That's that's the. They decided to have these screens already folded for some reason.
Probably to fit them in the box.
Yeah, because of the smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these little thingies. Whatever they for. cards,
Cards.
and the miniatures. Now this is the reason why I got these, the 7 lucky gods. Ah, well, focus, come on. Is it the slight? Well, that needs a little bit of cleaning, that one. And these are really, really detailed. Slightly more detailed than the Taoist ones. I don't know. It's because it's different material. This is made from same materials monsters are made from. Because they, yeah. That's cool. Again, they're slightly bigger than human. Yeah, that fish is awesome. No, it's not a carp. It's, I don't know, it's a little deer. Yeah. I mean, this is very imaginative. This she's sitting on a big snake there, or a dragon. Yeah, she's sitting on the top of a dragon. Coiled. Yeah. When am I gonna paint all this? It's just well, the good thing, you know, the clans, they colored plastic, so you don't actually. So that's the leader of the Sun clan. That's the that's Shugenja, and 2. Again, this is slightly, I don't know what type of plastic it is. Some of them feel slightly more detailed than the other. I don't know. These are...
Yeah, the plastic's got kind of a slightly rubbery, rough texture to it.
Okay, so that... These guys are big. The Moon Clan. Huge guys. And the priest is tiny though. Is like perched on a little tree thingy. I normally like doing this sort of little tree things as my basis for other miniatures, but and that's the leader, isn't it? No. So that's leader. That's. Hold on, stuck here. Oh yeah, that's right. That's normal ones. The Bushi. That's Shugenja and that's the leader. Need to straighten the swords later.
They're very rubbery as well.
How did they get all this texture onto them? I don't know. But yeah, so the production value kind of really increased on board games. And Simon Gulminianot is really at the front of it. And I keep pushing the envelope, like I said, hate plastics, PVCs will be even better than this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I got no money for hate, and it's going to be Kickstarter exclusive, so you can't buy it afterwards. So
my other friend Liam's doing it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Right, so I will see you a little bit later when I'm going to quickly flip through the book and look at Kickstarter exclusives.